Hello Internet! This is an instructive video on how to use the Leap interface. Now, since you're already here, you probably know what Leap is, but on the off chance that you don't, Leap is an acronym for the Long Range Energy Alternatives Planning System, which is a tool for energy policy analysis and climate change mitigation assessment that has been developed by the Stockholm Environment Institute. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Leap, then I would advise you to visit their website, energycommunity.org, and on here you can find just about everything that you need to know about Leap and more. Now, back on topic, this video is designed to help new users learn how to use Leap. If this is you, then the first thing that I would recommend you do is go to the Leap website and download the latest version of Leap, and then to go to Leap and training manuals and download the general purpose training manuals for Leap, which are available in several languages. Now, these training manuals are very well structured and will walk you through just about every single aspect of Leap, and I can say that having recently finished them myself. However, I did have a few issues with working out Leap's interface whilst I was working through the training manuals, and this is mostly due to the fact that they're limited to text and images. So as a result of that, I decided to create this video, and hopefully it should work as a complementary addition to the script and allow new users to speed up the process of learning Leap. Now, if you have any questions about the content covered in this video about Leap's interface, feel free to post a question in the comments below. For anything else, please head over to the Leap forums. They can be accessed by going to the Leap website, going to discussions, and clicking on Leap. This will bring you through to the Leap forums. Now, once you're here, once you've created an account, you can post any question you like, and the forums are very well maintained, so you will most likely get a response very quickly. A link will be posted in the description to the website. Also in the description will be a series of timestamps referring users to various parts of the video about different parts of Leap's interface. Upon opening Leap for the first time, you'll be greeted with a screen that looks like this. Leap's user interface is divided into several different views, and these views are shown on the left hand side of the screen. As you can see, there are several of them, and as you go through the Leap training manuals, you will find that you spend most of your time on either the analysis view or the results view. This is also likely to be the case for any future endeavours you have with Leap. So we'll start off by looking at the analysis view. Broadly speaking, this view is where you'll create your models, and you'll do this by inputting all of your data here and also managing your various scenarios. When you open Leap for the first time, you'll notice that it comes preloaded with an example model, Freedonia. The ultimate goal of exercises 1 through 4 of the Leap training manual will be to recreate this data by re-inputting it. Now, the way that you'll do this will be through the data structure section here. The model name will always be at the top of this list, and the first level options such as key assumptions, effects, demand, and so on clicking on one of the categories reveals the information that is stored inside of it, and this can involve many subcategories, such as for demand we have household, industry, transport, and commercial, and within household we can go further still. Now, editing these is very simple. Simply right-clicking on an entry will bring up a sub-menu, and you can add entries by clicking on the Add button, or delete them by clicking on the Delete button. Various other options are also available, such as Properties, which allows you to make edits to the current entry. Now, the options that will be available to you when clicking on Add depend on the contents of the folder. For example, this folder currently contains categories, and therefore I can only add categories or categories with energy intensities to the folder. However, for folders such as this one here, it contains technology items. Therefore, if I click on Add, I can add only technologies with energy intensities. When an entry is selected in the data structure section, the corresponding information is displayed on the right-hand side of the screen. The upper section of this is the data editing section. Entries shown here can be edited simply by clicking on them and changing the number. This includes both scales and units. For example, if I wanted to change the number of households within Freedonia from 8 million to 5 million, I can do this simply by changing the number 8 to 5. Above this, you will notice variously named tabs. Entries in the data structure typically contain multiple pieces of information, and the tabs allow users to switch between them. Now, the tabs displayed depend on the entry that you have selected. For example, for urban households, I have only activity level and demand cost to look at. If I go to a different variable, such as transformation, and look at electricity generation processes, we can see that there is a vast variety of tabs showing. Above the tabs, you will notice that there are a series of drop-down menus. These allow users to further refine the entry that they wish to select. Now, the branch drop-down menu effectively emulates choosing data within the data structure section. Similarly, the variable drop-down menu effectively emulates choosing a tab. However, the scenario drop-down menu is unique, and it allows users to select exactly which scenario they wish to view data for, and this is very useful. At this point, I'd like to make an important note about the nature of scenarios in Leap. Now, the first and default scenario that you'll find is the current account scenario, and this is unique from the rest. The current account scenario provides a snapshot of the initial state of your model. It's therefore intrinsically different to all the other scenarios that will span for some time into the future after the current account's year. So this makes a difference when you're adding data to your model. For current accounts, when you select a data entry, you'll see something like this, branch and an expression. But when you look at a future scenario, you'll see a branch, a 2010 value, and an expression. Now the 2010 value will always be equal to the one which is given in the current accounts. And if you want to change the 2010 value, then you cannot do this from within a future scenario. You must go back to the current accounts and change it here. Above the drop-down menus, you will notice a button labelled Manage Scenarios. Within the default Freedonia dataset, there are a total of 7 scenarios. To the left-hand side of the name of the scenarios, you'll notice there is a checkbox. Whether this checkbox is ticked or not defines whether the scenario will be calculated when the model is run. For a more detailed explanation about how to manage your scenarios in Leap, please From here, clicking on the Results tab will generate and display all selected scenarios. The Results tab interface is largely similar to that of the Analysis tab. Users can navigate between different results by clicking on the appropriate sections in the data structure. Leap is able to display results in both graphical and tabular formats. You can switch between these by clicking on Chart for graphics, Table for tables, or Split, which will display them both at the same time. Viewing results via clicking on the data structures tree is a fast and convenient way to view your work in Leap. However, to access the full range of results that are available to be generated in Leap, the most convenient way to do this is by using the drop-down menus shown above the graph. Clicking on the leftmost drop-down menu, labelled Show, will display a section list of all available outputs from the Leap model. select any of the options from the data structure you have chosen to display that result. For example, if I wanted to view the installed capacity of electrical generation values in a scenario, I would first click on Electricity Generation, then go to Show, Transformation, Capacity. The Levels option allows me to select how high up the data structure I wish to view. In this case, if I set it to 0, I see little resolution throughout my results, while setting it to 1 or above allows me to view them all. Pressing the More button displays 3 further drop-down menus, allowing users to select additional control over how results are displayed. The rightmost of these is particularly useful, since it allows the results of 2 scenarios to be compared directly between one another. For example, if I wish to compare data from my reference scenario, which is currently selected, with the mitigation scenario, selecting this option allows me to view the differences between the 2 capacities. The rightmost toolbar enables users to change various visual aspects of the graphs. These include graph types, bar organizations, color palettes, and various other options. Options to the left-hand side of the graph allow the scale and the units that results are displayed in to be changed. The drop-down menus at the bottom of the window, labelled Columns, allow users to choose which variable is displayed on the horizontal axis of the graph and the resolution that it is displayed at. For example, currently I have it set to years. I can change the resolution from 10 years to 2 years to display every single year that Leap has calculated the results at. Similarly, the drop-down menus above the legend allow modifications to be made to the variables that are displayed in the vertical axis. A variety of commonly used graph settings are preloaded into Leap's Favorite menu. These enable users to quickly access results from the model runs in a clear and consistent format. You can create your own favorited graphs by clicking on the Save. The diagram view displays the reference energy system for the current model. Double-clicking on an entry you can use the drop-down menus at the top of the window to refine which results are displayed. The scroll bar at the bottom of the screen allows you to select the year. The Overviews tab simultaneously displays a variety of favorited graphs. Users can add or delete graphs through the buttons at the top left of the window.